Well, hello and how are ya? Throat's pretty messed up tonight, so you ain't gonna have to deal with any of my singing. It was pretty bad yesterday. Sorry about that. I didn't get any feedback on it, but you know how that goes. If you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. And I appreciated it because I listened back to it myself, and I'm surprised the cat wasn't screaming. Anyway, what was I going to say? Oh, I had a little scare a while ago. The computer locked up on me and froze on me. Said that I had tried to get on a website for, first off, it was a Homeland Security, National Security web page. It looked pretty official. Said that I tried to get on a website and buy some drugs. What is that stuff called? Not succubus. It's anyway, the other drug, the new drug for pot, new name for pot. Anyway, whatever this stuff's called, it had me locked out. It said that I was going to be if I didn't pay the money that they wanted for within 48 hours of $300, within 48 hours they were going to lock up my computer completely. Said that they were using my my audio and my visual to monitor what was going on in conversation that was being said, and apparently that was true because I called up the FBI and asked them about it, and they said, yeah, it's a hoax, don't worry about it. Now what they did say, though, that scared me was the fact they said I was going to have to take it somewhere and have it fixed, and it was going to cost me some money. And I was like, but it also said, the FBI told me that I was going to have to take it somewhere, but I didn't have to take it somewhere because about 15, 20 minutes after I got off the phone with the FBI, then the thing went away. But it also said that there was something I was going to say that it was talking about. Oh, it said that all my information in my computer was going to be encrypted to where I couldn't read it or anything like that. So I just pulled up some of my files off of the start menu down there and started reading them, and then I went to my blog page, or my my film monitor, and pulled up one of my old blogs and looked at that. None of that stuff was encrypted. Apparently they could monitor what I was doing because they realized that I was intelligent enough to figure out that they weren't encrypting anything, and so therefore they just kind of shut it down after maybe 15 or 20 minutes. But it was still a scare. I was so you got to be careful of that thing. It's one of those it'll lock you up. I turned off the computer and turned it back on, and it was still there. It was on the web. I mean, it had me locked on the web as far as the website went. And so, it was like, hey, wait a minute. Wasn't even doing what they said I was doing, and even if I was, what business of it was theirs? But I wasn't. So, that being said, if that comes up across your thing, you just if it says it's going to use your audio and your visual to keep an eye on you, you just pick up the telephone and you start talking to the FBI. They'll cut out pretty quick, like. They don't want nobody searching their hind trail. That's right. They're just out there waiting for the sucker to pay the $300 or whatever it is to get them paid out. Anyway, let's see. What else was I doing today? I kind of had a rough morning, but that was way back early this morning. Sorry it's so late in the evening to get this thing posted. I generally try to post earlier. I was talking to my cousin, the one that I read the letter for the other day, and he reminded me of something. When I was living up there with him for about a couple of 3 weeks, I think I went up that way to do a drywall job. We done the fine arts building up there in Sedalia at the fairgrounds for Missouri State Fair, and we hung drywall up there, and anyhow, while I was up there, I lost track what I was getting ready to say. I hate that because it's not written down or anything like that. Of course, well, I was playing pool a lot, but that's not where I was going. Oh, yeah, that's what it was, yeah. He was involved with the fine arts department. They were putting on a play, and they put on a play called Nonsense. And if you know anything about the movie or the play Nonsense, there is a sequence in there where they have a Mother Superior is one of the the high pollutant nuns that nobody would expect to have ever done anything wrong or anything different. Well, what they do here is they've got this. We done a slideshow, and we came up with something real kind of right off the hip. I just kind of thought that what we would do would we would do a western, and it was called Nun Smoke. And what we had was the two nuns. There was one from ones was from Sedalia, and the other one's the Ravelry group. The sheriff, the marshal nun was from Sedalia, and the other nun was from where did we have them coming from? Willow Rock, maybe Willow Rock. Anyway, it's somewhere close to Sedalia, and it's one of the competition areas for Sedalia, and all the people that were at the play would have recognized it. Anyway, they was sitting there staring each other down, and you'd take a picture of the one nun and her eyes, and then the other one's nun and her eyes, and you'd have them take a picture of their hands throttling up over the pistol grip on the gun before they were going to draw. And my line was, y'all wouldn't be in this situation hadn't y'all stole them 3 mules from Sister Sarah. That was the punchline of the whole thing. I got a good laugh from what I heard. We were supposed to get a videotape of it, but the tape didn't turn out that well, and so anyway, I ended up with the slides. He sent me the slides, and I've still got those. Oh yeah, you remember what slides are? I explained that a week or so ago. You know, the square cardboard thingies with the photo negative in them. That's the slide, yeah. Okay. Man, my shoulders are a little achy today, but that's just how it goes. You know, you can't win for losing. One day you got a good day, one day you got a bad day. Yesterday my shoulder was all the way out of joint. It looked horrible, atrocious, and lumpy on top of that. I'm going to get a little sip of the water here. I don't know. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to put that right out in your ear, but it's one of those things. Got to clear the old throat. Otherwise, if I don't clear it, you can't hear it. Here you go. That's one I just come up with myself, my own self. Well, anyway, not only do I have angels, bicycle angels out there in Chicago, I had bicycle angel right here in St. Charles. As a matter of fact, 2 different times. Um, One time I was on working my way back from. I think I already told that one. I don't want to go tell that one again. That was when I was working my way back from Bass Pro and got hung up on the hill. Yeah, it was a bummer there. Bicycle angels. I don't know. I remember back when I was a kid, we used to go out to my cousin's house, um, and I remember this one time he was telling us. Well, he had an old smokehouse out behind the older house. They had a smokehouse out there, and that was his clubhouse, the spy headquarters. And well, he there was a little trap door, and in that trap door there was a monster mask of some sort laying in there. But anyway, that was his trap door. There was also in that smokehouse was the controls to the electric fence. I tell you what, you ever been around an electric fence? Don't pee on it. Sorry to say, but that is a jolting experience. Been there, done that. Don't want to do it again. Don't want to relive that. But anyway, what had happened was I was the younger of the three of us, my older brother and my cousin. They were both about the same age, but we were going down. He was telling us how the witch had lost her cheese. You know, she had thrown that. She had lost her cheese because she had years ago whenever people needed cheese, you know, it was made from the moon. Well, you know what they do is they'd come down to the lake or the pond or whatever, and whenever the cheese was on the moon, when the moon was on the lake, they'd throw out these nets and they would catch that cheese and they'd drag it in. Well, see, my cousin, he done stowed up a big old hunk of that cheese, and the witch was kind of perturbed at him. And we were down there, and we were right up there next to that pond, and both of them boys was telling me about it, and then all of a sudden they turned around to run. Well, I was the smaller one, but I tell you what, I beat them to the fence. There was no way they was going to leave me down there. Not by no far shot. I was running and just a running. I made it all the way up that hill, up over the fence. I was almost panting, waiting on them. Yeah, we used to have good old time. I remember he had 2 sisters. They was my cousins also. You know, just because they was girls didn't mean they wasn't my cousins. The first time we went down there that I recollect, there was a horse. They had ponies, for one thing, but I wasn't really. The ponies weren't really my thing. We did have a rodeo because they had a tire swing, and we used to get on that tire and act like we was riding a bull or something, and that was a good old time. I remember that. And of course, you know, when they did ride the ponies, my cousin, he was on the horse, and it went under the tree, and he couldn't get it to go out from under the tree, and it was dragging him off the back of the horse, or the pony. It was dragging him off the back of the pony because the pony decided it was going to go under a tree, and well, he had no control over it, and it just kind of drug him off and flopped him off on the ground. Kind of bummer, I'd say. At least he didn't fall in no pile of, well, you know how it is on a farm. I remember the one time we had to go down to the other side of the creek down there and fetch up the cattle. And, of course, he picked up a big old stick, and I was like, what do you got this stick for? And he says, for the bull. And I said, the bull? He said, yeah, we got a bull down here, and he ain't the nicest animal out here, so you got to be prepared for him. So we was rounding up the cattle to head them up to the barn, and Then he was about that time we got all caught up there. We got him up there. We didn't have any trouble with the bull. They just all went on up to the barn. But those are little glimpses of memory that I have. I don't recollect a whole bunch of it. I just remember little bits and pieces of it. Anyway, hey, my time is up. I just kind of threw out a little jibber jabber. I hope it wasn't too distracting for you. Met some people playing cards a while ago online. A girl named Melanie, and if you catch this blog, Melanie, hey, I say hey. I'm saying hi to you. This is me. This is what I look like these days. Anyway, see that microphone on my mouth? I was describing my voice activation system. Well, that's how it works. And you see that little silver dot on it? Well, that's how I guide my mouse around the table. Around the screen there. Anyway, I'm going to let you go now. You all have a blessed day. God loves you, and so do I. Hello, how are you? And goodbye. Shenandoah said it.